What up, bitch, boy? What's up? It's your boy, Pat Minute. And today, we're going to act like PewDiePie. No, I'm gonna elaborate on the thing I talked about the other day. Where people are like, but I'm helping my artists by like uploading their songs to YouTube. Especially when you're doing it for Japanese artists. You're not helping them. You're probably even hurting them. And I'm gonna explain why. Like, let's say an artist like exclusively posts to like Japanese stores. Let's say this box Japanese stores. Japanese stores. This doesn't look like a J, but it's Japanese stores, okay? Don't worry about it. Now, this artist, if they'll be the biggest artist on this platform, like they get the most sales over anyone else. Like all the other artists are here. Let's just make it a bar graph. Now, if someone is the biggest artist on a store or something, like they're going to be number one on the charts. This means that everyone that goes to the store, like everyone that uses that store or chart or whatever, will go to their song, and there's a decent chance they'll buy it. This means that if they are number one at something, they'll get like a fuck ton of sales more. And also, they'll be able to use those statistics to be like, yo, I want to get on a tour. And tours make a lot of money. Like, tours probably make a shit ton more than sales. Now, if you take all these other platforms like YouTube, iTunes, whatever, and all the other shits, like whatever. Obviously, like if they'll reach like a tiny bit here, tiny bit here, tiny bit here, but everyone will be bigger than them because they spread out. This means that the artists will not be trending on anywhere. It means that their overall, like, the culmination of this is, let's say, like a bit more. Like, usually like 3-4 times more. But 90% of that will not buy. So let's say, let's say this is 100. This will be like 190. But even though like he makes more money at the start here, because it's spread out, this will result in more money for the artist because they'll get tours and like placements. Especially locally in Japan, like you can get a lot of sales through like merch sales and all that kind of stuff. So if you are able to play a tour that has more people attending it, you actually make a lot more money. Like, I'm not talking like a couple $100 more. I'm like talking thousands upon thousands of dollars minimum that could make the difference there. It's like for small artists, obviously the difference is less. Like small artists want to do this, but most established artists, especially Japanese ones, they will get absolutely shafted if you don't make everyone go to this, even though like 90% gets lost here. Like if they just can get like 10% of these people that are watching on YouTube and SoundCloud or whatever, all the re-uploads, even with subtitles and whatever, even if it would have, those people would never listen to it otherwise. Just because it's there, it reduces the amount of sales on the platform that they want, and it reduces their like other avenues of revenue like placements, touring, blah 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 blah. that shit fucks with people in the long term. Like, obviously, long term for like sales, this shit is the best by far. Like, you'll get like so many more listeners if you care about just like pleasing people. Yes, if you care about running your music business well, you'll just see a lot of Japanese producers be like, you translated my thing, take it down now. Japanese labels, take it down. There's a lot of Japanese labels that will just outright not release on Spotify and iTunes, and not even in Japan, because they just want to push CD sales, because CD sales count more for charting than streaming and sales do. And it's like very counterproductive because you get less famous off it. But not everyone is Chance the Rapper. And especially in Japan, where like CD sales are very common for people to make. It's like it's just culturally a lot more natural for people to buy CDs. So at the end of the day, you'll end up with like, if you tour Japan, like you can get up to like 25 times as much sales than in Western countries, especially Europe. Europe has like terrible sales. Like I think a couple drum and bass festivals that I was talking about, like people spend like €8 on average at a gig on like drinks after the ticket, which costs like $30-40. So they'll end up making like $40 per person for like 1 or 2 days, which is very, 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 very low. Like when you go to Japan, people on average spend like double that. They'll pretty much always buy some merch, which usually starts at like $30 a shirt or something. And like album, $10-20. I'm not sure how well it converts, but in general, like just a lot more people buy merch in Japan. So if you want to go for Western markets as a Japanese producer or like performer or whatever, it just doesn't make sense, because this 100 will like be up to like 20 times more valuable for your money than this like 190. Like you'll reach less people, but you'll make so much more money. So it's ridiculous. And obviously it's like lowering right now because youth and like westernization of Japan a little bit. At least as far as I'm aware. But I know bands who get flown in for like 2 days in Japan and get like $8,000, and then everything gets paid for them once they are in Japan. And travel is expensive in Japan, like shit. Whoo! Like if you thought like some US or like some UK or Dutch trains are like expensive, like where it takes like $50-60 to just take an hour ride back and forth. Whoo! Japan gets even sillier. I don't know exactly how much, but I know a lot of people are like pretty rich and they're like, nah, I'm not using public transport. Fuck that shit. Unless it's like Kyoto local or whatever the fuck. But yeah, before you share translations or like covers or whatever the fuck of Japanese stuff, and you're like, but I'm helping him get exposure. No, you're helping him get people away from his main platform. And you, unless you're like 100% reaching people that wouldn't have known about him either way, you're hurting him in the short term. Or her. Short term only. Like obviously if you have someone that's like a fan for like forever, they'll end up buying stuff. But not everyone is that. And it's very hard to track. So in generally, people tend to want short-term gain, so they can like push for like shows and tours. That's how that works. And now I need like 8 seconds to get on my 10-minute video shit. But damn. But yeah. The other day I went a little harsh on Black Zero and stuff. Apparently they did get permission from most of them, but apparently the subbers got really upset because apparently Japanese producer was like, "Brah, don't upload my music." Wait, I'm talking into the mic. They're like, "Brah, don't upload my music, even with subs." And I doubt that he actually explained it because he's Japanese and these people are primarily English, even though they translate. Like, they didn't sound like native Japanese level speakers. But yeah, that shit got fucked. And I don't have anything to talk about on the subject anymore. Think before you share. Also, promo channels are low-key shit because of this. Because, well, it's like Western society adapted to it pretty much. Like, if you're a Western artist, you just send it to promo channels. If they get 1 million views on your song, you could just be like, "Hey bro, you got 1 million views on my song," and just link it, and even though it's not your channel. Labels will only care if it's on Vivo, but yeah. Another discussion, another day. I'm a head off. I got my 10-minute video. Have a good day. Good night. Goodbye. Okay.